For joining us here again today for our Smadaworld webinar. During this webinar, we'll be going over the new Boost Group promotion recently introduced in our Skype rooms and clarify a few questions that people have had. Also, we'll cover general information and updates on various other areas that the Smadaworld team is involved with. As usual, we'll be having our Q&A at the end of the update, so please hold your questions until that time. Now, without any further wait, I'd like to welcome Mr. Noel Adams, our CEO and leader of the Smada team, and the founder of Next Level Africa. Welcome to the mic, Noel.
We didn't expect too many rolling in, but we want to do a number of webinars this week. There's a bit happening, so we just wanted to give ourselves a bit of breathing space on doing the webinars. So that's why we're holding one. We've never really held one on a Monday before, so we're holding it now in order to be able to cover what we need to be able to cover out there. All right, look, just to cover a little bit of housekeeping. You may be aware, if you've had a look in the exchange, there's quite a bit of activity going on with the NLA coin. And look, don't necessarily take it that that's what's happening, but what you see in there, there's a little bit of a snooker game going on in there with lots of moves happening that I can't really explain, but they're certainly out there. But through working the system there, I've been able to force the price of the coin down because it always had to go down before it went up. And in doing that, we're just flushing out a lot of the people dumping coins and bringing it back to what we want to pay for these dump coins. And once they're gone, they're absolutely gone. So we are getting very close. The banks have noticed the activity in the account. They brought it to my attention, the amount. And I haven't done an official count since we started, but it's probably around the 50,000 coins that have been traded in there. So we are certainly on the move to clear out the people dumping coins out there and moving into an area where we've got a bit more credibility in our coin. So I would like to thank everybody that's participated in this, because we can all participate in it. And you don't have to put a lot of funds in there, but you know, anywhere over $10 is probably going to help out there. So I should imagine we are getting towards the end of the coins being dumped in there. So, and as I said, don't pay too much attention to what prices you see in there, the amount of coins that are going on. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on there. It's like a marathon, and as some people well know, my background is in the snooker world, and sometimes you can go to a table and clear it in one visit to the table. Other times you've got to have 100 visits because of the different shots that can come up and just different challenges, and that's what's happening in the exchange. So anyway, we are getting there. Moving on to the NLA program, I'm going to be talking with the programmers this week to get things moving along with that, because I definitely want to have that completed out there. We've been there for a while with it, with other things going on. It went to the back burner, people going on holidays and just other projects coming up that showed a bit of preference out there. So we are going to be pushing. Look, it's probably like this, that the NLA program that we started off with out there, for those of you who have been with it for some time, when we first started off with the NLA program, we didn't have cryptocurrency there. We were trying to get a merchant to look after the payment processing, but it is hard in the crowdfunding world out there. A lot of fraud can go on, so they're really strict on rules that they have. So it was from that I decided to bring in our own payment system and start using cryptocurrency. At the time, it goes back to about, crypto had been in the world for about 5 or 6 years at that time, so we were looking at it closely then. What actually happened from that point, that the Next Level Africa business model became on the back burner and people were talking about cryptocurrency. That became the topic of conversation. So we lost our way a little bit there, because I had to point out to people we still have this program going there, because it just became the crypto world. So from that, a lot of these things have tapped on, and we've had the bank. I mean, as you well know, when we started out there, I developed the Chingaling coin, and the bank took over the Chingaling coin and gave us our own coin, the NLA coin. So there's been things going on out there, and we are associated with a bank, and if they move fast, we move fast. If they move slow, we move slow. So it's just really out there that they are the brakes and the accelerator of what's going on in our business. And because of the amount of, I guess, revenue that they can put on the table for us out there, it's hard to not just follow their lead a little bit out there, as much as I don't necessarily like it, but that's where it comes along. So we are going to be really focusing on getting this completed with the NLA program. The other thing is the email program. I'm going to be speaking with our programmers. We have a different group of programmers that are doing the email. They've been testing it out for me now for a number of weeks. So I'm going to be talking to them now to see whether or not we are ready for a soft launch, and I'm pretty sure we are. Everything is tested out perfectly in there. So I will be, once again, that's why we're going to be holding a few webinars this week in order to get, a lot of our housekeeping in place. So once again, I'll be guided by the programmers to make sure that we are right to do the soft launch on that. And so I'm pretty sure it's correct now. It's been showing me a lot of the activity and a lot of the, look, they've had to specially build things out there that cater for what we want. So it's not something you can go to a chemist shop and buy it off the shelf. It had to be purposely built for what we wanted. So that's all being completed now. Another thing that we have rolling along out there, which we wanted to try and do something about it, but I really have a lot on my desk at the moment, and that's our magazine. Our magazine is something that we wanted to do because we'll be able to put a lot of information about what we're doing and have a lot of video to do with various things out there, our crypto world, our medical world out there, NLA, our projects, and just where funds are being allocated to. As you well know, that the bank have indicated that they're prepared to let Next Level Africa distribute $100 billion a year to humanitarian out there. So we want to be able to record all of that and where it goes and who we're supporting with that. And just to let you know is that you've heard me talk about the e-commerce for some time now. There was a bit of argy-bargy with it when they first told me about the e-commerce, and well, not told me about it, we always knew that was happening, but the funds, I wasn't aware of the amount of funds that they had. So it goes back now 6-8 months ago when they first told me about it, and they told me they had $22 billion in an account that was there to be used in the e-commerce program. In other words, we're paying members to bring other members in for merchants. It's quite a unique program. Since then, it's grown to now over $57 billion. Now, what's happening, we've got delegates from the bank, from HSBC Bank, our development team, are going to the States this week, and they'll be there on the 4th in the States to complete the signing over of these funds so that we can start using them. The bank holding it is the Chase Bank in the States, and we'll be putting this together. So hopefully this week we'll have an answer on the e-commerce, because we really want to get this going. This will be a very exciting thing for us, and it'll run in conjunction with our coin, as I mentioned before, the coin. And look, the coin is something that I've always known that we're going to get on top of it. It's just that I really wanted to show the banks that we are capable of doing something out there, instead of they put notices up there and ask people be nice and don't list coins at a certain price. It made no difference at all. So we decided to do something about it ourselves. So we are on the move with that, because our coin will be used in the NLA program, in the email program, the magazine, and of course in e-commerce. So there's going to be a big demand on the NLA coin. I'm expecting the NLA coin to become the dominant coin in the crypto world out there, because of what we've got planned for it and the backing that we have behind it. Okay, and so just on the last one, the medical program. Look, that was released on the 15th of December. We were right on the doorstep of Christmas, New Year's. We tried to study it where possible, because whilst it's an MLM attached to it, it's mainly to do with these certificates. The MLM is really in the background. The banks, the medical world didn't want it to be a full-blown MLM type program. So that's why it's a bit of a soft approach on there, and there are things in place that really made it difficult, and I wasn't aware of all of them. So I managed to spot a few of them. There were technical issues there with referrals dropping off, people being placed in wrong areas, and the way it went. And then, of course, when we started the Boost group out there, I noticed some further issues out there. And one of the issues was, apart from the technical side, that after you reached a certain amount, and that was only 64, and this was something throughout the whole system, that no one could build a team, because after you reach 64, the next person would go into the next position available under the Smada one. If that makes sense. The Smada one is the sign-on link. So if people have got a referral or no referrer ID there, it's all under Smada one. So when I introduced the Boost group out there, their question to me was, why did I want to do this? Because I've already got the #1 position, so it didn't make sense to them why I needed to start the Boost group. And the reason on that is because the way the system works out there, it's impossible to do a team build. You just cannot do it. You go out and introduce people into the system, and it's a waste of time. When I say a waste of time, they come into the system, and eventually that people share in what goes on there, but it's not like a program where you introduce somebody and you've got them appearing in your group, because someone could join this and just go off and do any certificate. So it was really difficult out there to have anything happening, and not being able to see your hierarchy. You have no idea what's going on with your group and what sort of certificates that people are purchasing that become part of your group. So consequently, we identified an issue out there that was happening with the exchange, people trying to be KYC'd, and so we put something out there, and I believe it was my Christmas Eve when Angelina posted about the information we could do that. And with the what was coming in, we realized that we had the solution then to do our team build the way we want to do it, the way we want to look after our members. So that's where the Boost group came from. And believe you me, there's been a lot of discussion backwards and forwards with the bank, with the medical world out there, and they now realise that we are a dominant force in the medical program and how we'll work it, because I'm not really sure it's going to be successful with the way they've got it structured out there, because remember this, you've got a bank, you've got the medical world, and then we are focused around not being a bank, not being the medical world, but we're focused around the MLM structure and having people be rewarded for their efforts. So that's where the difference on it was, that they don't recognise MLM at all. It's just a little bit they added to it, because it just meant that if people were earning a little bit from it, they might go off and tell other people about it. So that's where it came about. So last Friday, or my Friday, after working on it for the week, we decided, because we are being noticed by the bank, both in the coin and in the medical system out there. Dr. Wolfgang and his crew pay particular attention to what we're doing here with what's going on, and so therefore we're making sure that we do the right thing by all of the things that we're doing, and try to have it that everybody's happy with it. So doing the promotion, the whole concept of it is to keep things moving along and offer a little bit of an additional benefit for people wanting to become part of it, because as I mentioned before, and I haven't been into detail to let people know how we're doing it, because if you can appreciate this is a group that we are building, and we're building it with things in place that we don't want to necessarily share with other people, because I want to protect the members in this group as well. Anyone's open to go and build their own group in the medical program out there. We don't own the medical program. I just have been fortunate enough to be asked to be the master distributor in it, and so I have a little bit of influence in there, but as far as being the owner, I am not the owner. I'm just a member like everybody else, and I've been able to voice my opinion on what should be done, and they've tweaked it. They've just tweaked it a bit so that we can work it in a team effort out there. So probably a lot of people haven't fully appreciated what this program is all about. It's something that may have crept up on a few people, and they think that we're going off on another direction, but it's all part of our family. It's all part of the crypto world. It's part of the bank system out there, and we believe that it's going to be a dominant force in where we all want to be with financial freedom. It's in two parts. You've got your certificate that they see as being the dominant thing out there, and then you've got the coin value, accumulating coins. The coin is something that we accumulate fairly quickly, and the certificates are something that come along a little bit further down the track because of when they go to market. All the certificates, all the projects on there now are what they call final stage, so which is human testing. So at any time, any one of them could become in the market for selling to the pharmaceutical companies, and you've got a massive backing of people behind that, financial people that will be looking after that and will pay out on the certificates. So it's just an area out there that really understand. This has never happened before in the medical world, in the scientific medical world. So it's something that really you need to understand and feel that it's been given to us, an opportunity out there with this to be able to take this to the world out there. Remember this, there are many medical scientific teams out there. the face of this one, Dr. Wolfgang Schonfeld, he is part of this particular medical group, and there are things out there they hold back. They don't put onto the site because they don't want letting too much information going out on projects they're working on, which are quite a large number. So there are certain things held back. And when you're dealing with these people, they all talk in mega dollars out there on what they need to do, building laboratories and doing research. It runs into a fortune. And that's why people invest in it, because there is a very large return in there. Anyway, I'll just explain a little bit about it and then go into the promo that we're doing on it, just to keep it moving along a little bit for us. This is your opportunities to own part of the medical breakthroughs and earn huge returns on small investments. People have been doing this, the wealthy have been doing this for some time, so now it's for the little man to be able to go out there and actually be able to do something about it. Now, the playing field has been leveled. You can now share in the wealth that previously was only available for the wealthy people. And that's what happened. The medical world would go to a group of people that put in absolutely billions of dollars to finance this. It's a little bit like funding for movies and things like that. Some of the movies now run into so much money, they need backing to do it. And same as the medical world, they're not just working on one particular project out there. They might have a number of them and need backing to do it. So they're forever going to, and sometimes people want to be part of this, sometimes they don't. But this is a way of bringing it to the man in the street, so that the man in the street can be part of this thing, not just the wealthy. Now, investing into research is expensive, but the return on investment is bigger. Now, earn up to 13,000% on your investment. I just want to explain where that comes from. The medical world come up with these figures because of what happens and who they're selling it to, the pharmaceutical companies. It's been going on for some time. You can appreciate this, that these figures come from the medical world, that they're working these figures out. We don't put these figures out there. And because the bank, the HSBC Bank, are the major player in owning this program, they have to make sure that what goes on there is accurate, or as accurate as it can be. So the 13,000%, whilst the average person might think, oh yeah, that's just another, hype out there. Remember this, it's vetted by the bank, and the bank don't want people coming back to them saying that was a rather bold statement when it was nowhere near that. And where that comes from, where the 13,000% comes into it, it's also based on the value of the coin. As the coin value comes up, then obviously the investment, 13,000%, comes down. Still a high percentage, but right at the moment, that's where it stands at. So it's well worth getting into this at the moment because of the high return that you would earn. As soon as someone returns some dollars on the certificates out there, the reality will kick home then, because in some cases you can invest as little as whatever amount of coins it is to go into a program. So we'll call it under $100, and the next thing you've got possibly $1 million return, and that's unheard of, absolutely unheard of. And but that's the reality of what we're dealing with the medical world out there. Now, the main issue of concern in a membership program is the lack of cohesion direction members have to build a profitable network business. It's impossible, in fact, to build a controlled team where there are so many products or in this case 10 projects. With 10 projects going, it would mean you would need your team to be part of every project. The YPEC, which is your private equity community boost group membership, is the only solution to provide a tightly controlled team build benefiting all members. And remember this, that I have pulled this apart. And if someone can tell me a better way to do it, please do, because there is no other way. It has to be a controlled effort out there so that we share the wealth, not just go about it, openly purchasing certificates all over the place without really knowing what you're doing. So right now, if you did want to go and run your own link and build your team, it would cost your wallet about $600 to just start out on all of the 10 projects with the Petcoin at $3 a coin. Now, that may be achievable while the Petcoin is priced at $3, but what if it goes to $10 and $15 and $30 and beyond? And it will. The Boost Group will be the benchmark for a team build in YouInvest. YouInvest, as I've mentioned before, will be changing its name. It'll become yourprivateequity.com. That's being built. It's on another server being built, so you'll see that come out, and it'll all come out at about the time they do the press releases. That's been put in place now because everything is running correctly. So they're getting prepared to do the press releases on that. That all comes from the medical world, Dr. Wolfgang and his team. Now, we have many people wanting to join this incredible program. The main holdup has been the process through Coin Exchange, where people who don't know anything about Coin Exchange registering there, having to be KYC'd. So there is a process there, and even transferring coins out of the exchange. What's happened is that, look, through many issues there by individuals making incorrect assessments on how to do it, and the wrong amounts being put in, the wrong transaction IDs, wrong accounts have been listed there. There's a whole range of things out there. So they had a nightmare going on there with something like 150 backups of people wanting to transfer coins. So it's an area I don't think that they'll get over that, and that's why we've arrested that, and we've got it now that our members don't have to put up with that, unless of course you know what you're doing there and you just go and do it. Because we are always looking at ways that we can help our community. This package will include a fully paid level 1 certificate in the stonemason disease, fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, which obviously that it's better known as FOP. Now that's valued at approximately $3,300 odd, and it's hard for them to put an accurate figure on that, because what you'll find is that when they do take it to market, that figure could be up or it could be down. So they can't officially say what it is until it's actually sold. So once it's sold out there, then your certificate will be valued. So you can imagine this, as soon as you join and you take the FOP, you've got a certificate there that's approximately worth $3,000 odd. Now, you're also, apart from getting the certificate, you're placed into a 2x2 force-fed matrix. This is the system that we're running through the Boost Group, and it's an automatic fill, so you go in the next position available. You get a personalized Next Level Africa email address, plus you are placed into the 4x7 force-fed matrix, the email plus program, which is in the process of getting ready for launch, and you will have 6 months paid auto-shipped. Now the total price for that to join the Boost Group is $95 US. By filling out the form, which is on yourprivateequity.community website. That form is out there. Filling in that form that will get you into our system. It'll get you into the matrix under Boost Group. Remember this, that we talk about under Boost Group, but there's one matrix. It's from Smada 1 down. So Boost Group is just another group in the matrix of the one single matrix. So you're not definitely out of it. Anybody that's signed up, like we all have, and have got positions under Smada 1, which in this case, not under the Boost Group, there is no worries, because when they do the release, the press release, the link to sign up is the Smada 1 link. So people sign up there, they'll go into the next position available under the Smada 1. And remember this, that with 10 projects going, there's 10 matrices happening there. So it's not an easy program to actually say, right, this is how you build a business, and the only way to build a proper return on investment is to be in a group that is dedicated to do exactly that, to share the wealth with the members. What we've done, we've introduced a bit of a promo to help members along, keep this moving, so that we have, so it was introduced last Friday. It's been rather successful out there. We're still processing and putting members into the matrix now, and so there's quite a bit of activity going on. And in fairness to it, I believe running with the energy. I mean, this is energy going on at the moment, so anything that can be added to the energy just creates more energy. Now, the first promotion, number 1 for the Boost Group, is if you take 2 Boost Group memberships, we're doing it for $170 US, which is $85 each account. That gives you 2 positions in the matrix. It gives you 2 emails out there. So you've got doubling up on what's going on with your potential income. Everything is paid the same out there. So as soon as you do that, you've got 2 certificates there that are worth $3,000 odd on each certificate. And we, through these promotions and other things we do, we will be the ones promoting it. You can certainly assist and help out with it as well, but we certainly are behind, and this is what this is all about now, for keeping the momentum moving along. Promotion number 2, if you take 5 Boost Group memberships, which is $400, that would be $80 for each account. You fill out the form. You need to fill out for each account you take, because that goes off to the loading into the email. Each account has its own email set up. You go into the email program, and from that, it's all totally automated for you. So you need to fill out 5 forms if you wanted 5 accounts. And once again, it's yourprivateequity.community is where these forms are. Now, the major one here that we've put out there is the number 3, which is 10 Boost Group memberships. Now that would work out at $700 US, equals $70 per account. And of course, filling out the form. Just let me explain this one as well. What our goal out there is to, we believe we're going to go for many level 6 certificates in the various projects that are going on. But I just want to use the FOP as the example. I don't want to go into too many figures that are astronomical figures out there. I just want to try and be realistic about what we're doing. And in the FOP program, a level 6 certificate has a value of approximately $200,000. That could be more, it could be less. As I said, they've just estimated what the value of it could be. When you think about it, if that were the case with 10 of these memberships, you would be in a position where you could have a possible return of $2 million just on the certificates alone in FOP. Unheard of, but that's what it is. And as I said, these guarantees on return out there come from the medical world and some people that are worth billions of dollars. Their reputations are on this. They certainly don't pluck the figures because they have to take these figures to the pharmaceutical companies, and they can't be, all over the place. They have to be very accurate, and they're all checkable anyway. But nevertheless, that would just be one. So imagine if you got into a position working in the boost group where you had 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 level 6 certificates in the various things. It runs into tens of millions of dollars. This is a business that you can get into for $700 US. And from that, it's just something that will certainly grow. And once the reality of this, I guess, is when people get their first certificate paid up, I think that the reality of it then will really start to kick home and have people understand just what they've got going here as well. So that's always one to be thinking of, because it certainly puts you into a position where you've got a very serious business going on there. Now, this promotion is limited to 200 signups. We're going to review it afterwards because the amount of response we've had since we introduced it on Friday is very exciting for everybody. So we will review it, but we really have to make sure that because as the coin goes up, as things happen out there, and it could be that tomorrow, I have no idea, that the FOP program is going to market. So we have to look at another project to bring people into this concept as well. So every one of them, this is why we can, what we call, flip the matrix as many times. Look, I've gone into it now and I have a technique where I can flip the matrix unlimited times. So it's an area out there that I'm not introducing this too quickly. I want people to absorb and understand what they've got. But once again, the FOP as the project could be something that goes to market at any time. We'd all like to see that because we'll start getting a return on our certificates as well. So that's just an area out there that we needed to make sure we had that in place so that we can make a call on it. So let's show the bank and the medical science world why we are the go forward in this program. With our support network being trained to manage the masses coming into this program, I believe that this is the only way that you can maximize your return on investment in this program. And that is going to stand out. The people in the boost group are going to be the main earners in this whole program. Could be someone comes into it and they've got a pocket full of money and away they go with it, but they still will not be able to catch what we'll be able to do for our members in the boost group by flipping it, making sure that we have a listing now of everyone that's joined us in the boost group, and we'll be recording just what sort of activity is going on. And if people follow our lead with it and don't step outside of it, we don't want anyone to upgrade any further than what is required. And from that, we'll advise people what to do out there. So we're getting ready to probably in the next, like I said, within a week, but maybe a week to 2 weeks, we'll be releasing the phase 2 of the boost group. And I think when I do that out there, the reality of what you've got going here is going to really kick home. Look, with that, I'm going to hand it back to Angelina now, because I can tend to get carried away a little bit here talking too much. So I'll pass this back to Angelina, and I'll see if I can answer any questions that come up there. I'll do my best on it. Thank you.
I have to say that, you know, no matter what day or what time of year or what activities are going on in the world, we have such an amazing group of people that stick with us on our webinars, no matter what. Our numbers don't really change, which is fantastic. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us here today from around the world. So we do have a few questions coming in. I think the place to start, Noel, would be from James. He's asking about the promotional packages that and taxes related to that. So if you can see where James has come in there and start with James's question, that would be great. Thanks.
Ruin the NLA value, will this end? And does this trade record make the NLA coin like really bad? No, Joda. I did see the duck. Someone's listed coins there for 7 cents. I believe that's a mistake that someone's listed it there. That's just that there's probably no one that's seen it, that have got duck, that have bought them, but you can only see it's been a mistake. And there's no one in their right mind would do that out there. And as far as the coins coming down to 50 cents, understand this, it's me that's been forcing the price of the coin down. And so these people have been in a position they've been forced to sell at that price. So I'm trying to weed out as quickly as possible. So I wouldn't worry too much about look, in all fairness to it, if you can buy the coins at 50 cents, buy them. In fact, somebody, and I found out who it was, but I won't mention who it was, someone offered to buy some NLA coins at whatever is the zeros, 5, which actually, because of the price of Bitcoin, it actually worked out under 50 cents, 45, 46 cents per coin. And they'd had it there for a while, and I thought to myself, this person has got to be as crazy as the people selling the coins at ridiculous prices, because nobody is going to sell him coins for that because he wanted to buy 3,000 of them. Lo and behold, I've eaten my words now because someone sold him 3,000 coins at 46 cents a coin. So I take it all back now, and I can't get in the head of what people will do out there. So it's someone who's dumping. They're in competition with themselves, because if they don't sell, they feel someone else might. And these are people that probably want to get out of our business, and they're just really, I can't get in the head of a dumper. Don't ask me why someone sells over that price. It's you need to ask them. Tom's asking how many commission coins come with a level 6 FOP. I believe it's about 1,200 coins on that, Tom. So your total coins coming in, because you pick up some on 5 and some on 6, you pick up coins in each time you upgrade, but the total coins that you would get back from a level 6 is probably in the order of 1,400 to 1,500 coins. So if we work that out on the exchange selling the coins, you're going to find that's probably somewhere around about the $4,000+. So that's immediate cash. What's actually happened out there, I might add this in as well. We, as the Boost Group, are the reason that coins are still cheap on the exchange, the pet coin. If anybody wants them, it's a good time to get them now, because I bought a bunch of coins before the whole thing started. So we've been using in-house coins in order to make the the 8 coin payments. Once we roll out phase 2, there's probably going to be a demand for about 20 to 30,000 coins. So from that, you'll see the coins start to increase. That's just where it is. And so that's where it is. And you know, it's an area out there. It's funny. I'm just reading another thing. Greg, shame we haven't made any money in You Invest in money to haven't made any money to invest. Once again, if people are out there buying and selling NLA coin on the exchange, there is a flow going on there where people can actually make money doing that as well. So you've got to be a little bit switched on with it. So it's an area out there that just keep your eye on what's happening. Okay, so James is asking, I mean, look, I do avoid some of the questions here because some of them have got no answers to them. They're just, you know, people put things in there with a question with no answer. So anyone that's put a question out there and I haven't answered it, it's because there isn't an answer. James is asking, or is the amount mentioned the amount that has been paid? Well, it's called GST, which is Goods and Services Tax in Australia, but they're different amounts. I mean, over in the in the UK, it's called VAT, Value Added Tax, and you know, there's just different taxes all over the world. So I can't really speak for that. You need to speak to your accountant to advise you on that. Magdi's asking me what's happening on stage 2 with it. Look, I'm not going to release it just at this point. That will come in, and I'll let members know what we're doing very, very shortly on that. So we just want to control it, make sure we've got things you know, in control. Tim's asking what form that needs to be signed for the promotion. If you go into, as it's up there, Tim, your private equity.community and welcome, you'll see there it's got a click to assign to a form. On that form, you just fill in that form on whatever you require, and we will adjust it when it comes in. If somebody wants 1 account, 2, 5 or 10 accounts, and so we'll adjust it when it comes in so that you charge the correct amount. James, for example, is 170, is there any more that has to be paid to the Boost Group on that amount? Not to the Boost Group, but the 170 out there with it, James, it's still something that it's GST on it. That's all I'm getting at, is that goes to our government. So we've got no control. Anything that comes in or sold from Australia, we've got to put GST on it. Anita's asking when they start the, by dividends, I guess you're talking about the certificates. We don't really know on that. It's something that we can't answer that, and we'll try to get information where possible, but we don't officially know, and I don't know if they do. Barbara's asking about the lines 8 and 9, so that's exactly what I'm waiting on. If I don't get the coin balances from the bank, we will work out what we need to do. We've been asking for that for some time, so I've told my programmers that if we don't get that, we will work out what needs to be done with it. I'm not going to let them hold us up any longer. Yeah, the certificates that are coming to maturity will be paid in cash. That's right. They're not paid in coin, so they're paid in cash. Alex said, look, I'm chasing yours up. I might finish up having to contact you in PM and go over some of the things there, but I've been chasing that up for some time there, so we'll see what we can do on that. Barbara, you're asking me answering questions on loading line 8, and I've already said that. I can't load them if we haven't got them. They send me the lines. Once they send us the lines, we go over it, we okay it, then they load the line in there. I don't have them. The programmers have them. Jackie's asking, is the email program ready for a huge influx of people that we may be expecting to come over in a short period of time. That's what the whole program's being tested for. Jackie out there to make sure it can manage the numbers coming in. There are certain parts of it that we're tweaking, but making sure that they look after things out there. Alex, how does the value that is paid directly pass back to Solmic Research when Wolfgang Schofield is the CEO of obviously an investment that will be provided return for Smada team? It's probably a complex thing out there with it, Alex, but he sells the patents to an investment group, and we've been asked not to mention names of this investment group. So they buy the patents. They've got first right of refusal. So they are the ones that take it and sell the products to the pharmaceutical companies, and how they're all divided up, I have absolutely no idea. So we're not privy to all of that. There's been some contracts, fairly serious contracts that have been signed out there. So everybody's happy with the contract. So I'm certainly not privy to what contracts they've signed. The email program will be a program in NLA coin. Remember that we want to use the NLA coin, and then the coin will be purchased from the exchange. Very shortly, when the e-commerce, and this is what this is all about, when the e-commerce is completed, we will have access to funds. So we will be purchasing all of the coins available on the exchange, certainly up to the market maker's value. If there is not sufficient coins there, that we need more, the market maker will release coins. That's how the whole thing's done. So we will be purchasing the coins from the exchange, and that's where members will sell the coins. If we pay out in cash, it doesn't benefit the coin. So having the coin, being able to use the coin to hold the coin for a future, that's entirely up to you. But nevertheless, the coin is something that by trading the coin, it adds a bit to it. Audrey's asking, how do we participate in NLA coin purchase if we're interested? What that would be is that we're doing it in Bitcoin. So you would transfer Bitcoin into the exchange, and then you can make an offer to buy the coin from the exchange. From there, you'll see them all listed. If you look in the exchange, you'll see all the coins listed there. So you'll be able to purchase from there. People have made some really serious purchases on the coin, and the reality of what they've purchased will happen over the next few days, I should imagine, to a week. Angelina's reminding me now that we're nearly at the top of the hour, so I've really started to wind up. We're going to hold a couple of webinars this week, so this is just the start of them. Ray's asking about the promotion on the founding member packs. That will all happen because founding member packs will be receiving positions in the matrix in Next Level Africa, and also we're putting them into a group in the e-commerce where they'll go into what we call the rotator, and the whole of the e-commerce program will be built under this group, so that so they get the benefit from the e-commerce. There's a few things that's attached to the e-commerce, so it's probably for another time on that. I'll cover the e-commerce. I'll be getting the feedback from the meetings in the States, and I'll go over a bit more to do with it then. Greg's asking, would we be purchasing coins in the duck and the yes, the answer to that is yes, all coins, all NLA coins listed there. All right, look, that seems to be all the questions. I'm going to hand this back over to Angelina. Thanks again, everybody, for coming onto the webinar. And as I said, if you really want to support this medical program and get yourself in a position where you have got some serious income coming in, I would suggest you have a look at the promotion that we're running through the Boost group and certainly be part of that. Okay then, everybody, thank you very much, and I'll hand this back to Angelina.
Give us about 48 hours. Enjoy your day wherever you are and whatever time of day it is. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.